Hi everyone, welcome to Indica Foods. I am Leah and today we'll be making some jollof rice and chicken, spicy chicken. So this will be made in two ways. The first version will be the very spicy chicken. So that's on a level of 1 to 10, the spice is at 10. And then the second version we'll make is the moderately spicy. So it's spicy but not at a scale of 10, so it will be just a scale of 5, just good enough for people who don't really like very spicy food. So to make this, we'll start by cutting our stewed chicken into pieces. I always buy this chicken in full and then cut it myself because I know how to cut the different parts myself, but people can also buy it pre-cut at the supermarket. So as we go ahead and cut this, I want to take the opportunity to thank everyone who has subscribed to our YouTube channel. We really appreciate the privilege of your subscriptions. Then those who have not subscribed, but if you're coming across this video for the first time, this channel for the first time, please like, please subscribe, and please comment. And we really look forward to the privilege of your comments because feedback is always something good. But also knowing if this is how you cook your jollof rice and the spicy chicken, are there spices that you use that we don't use? I look forward to those. So, once again, thank you for the engagement. Thank you for watching our YouTube videos, all our shorts. We really appreciate the privilege of the time. Now that we are done cutting this, the next thing we'll do is this chicken is already washed, so we just go ahead and turn on the fire and start putting on our spices to make sure that the chicken is generally spiced. So we'll add bouillon, then followed by hot pepper, and this will also be followed by some curry powder, and then we'll follow it with some thyme and also some paprika powder for that paprika flavor, and then the black pepper, and then we'll add some rosemary and some bay leaves as always, and then some fresh garlic paste, some fresh ginger paste, and then some fresh onions, and then we'll let this cook down so that they all release the flavors and give it a great mix. At this point, you want each chicken piece to be coated by the spices. So what I generally do is just push the spices down so that they mix with the water that the chicken has created, so that it circulates and makes each piece very tasty. So at this point, they've all mixed, so we'll go ahead and just add a little water to make sure that it boils. The chicken boils within its own juices, but also boils furthermore with that water. We again give it a good mix and make sure that every chicken piece is coated with our flavors and spices. Now that we have cooked this down, this is ready. It has been boiling for about 40 minutes because this is stewed chicken. We'll go ahead and put it in the air fryer because on this channel we do not fry anything in oil. We try to use the air fryer to our best, and this is the outcome of the air fryer. It looks good, it's very crispy, it's very tasty, and our chicken is ready at this point for the first type of jollof rice that we're making. So, because this chicken is spicy, it's not that much spice, but it has the general spice, the 5 level spice. So, these are chicken pieces ready for our jollof rice. Once again, thanks for watching. We appreciate the privilege of your subscription. Now, to make our stew for the jollof, we'll start by putting some oil in a pan and then go ahead to add some onion, freshly cut onions, and give this a good mix. And then we'll also go ahead and add our bay leaf because bay leaf gives that flavor, that unique flavor. I really can't describe it until you use it. And then we'll add again our ginger paste, the freshly ground ginger, and we'll also finish this with a fresh garlic paste and give it a good mix so that it releases all the flavors and also the flavors mix up so that our stew for the jollof rice is very flavored. So we will give this a good mix. Since the tomatoes have cooked down, they don't have water because we don't want anything to burn. And once we've given it a good mix, we'll also start flavoring the tomato. So we'll add some curry powder. This will also be followed by some hot pepper. This is habanero pepper. And then we'll also go ahead and add some bouillon for that flavor, and follow this by adding some thyme. We are very light on the spices because we're going to add a broth that is really spicy. So you don't want your stew to be too hot, so but you also want it to be very spicy. Now that this has cooked, remember this meal splatters, this sauce splatters, so you have to be very careful with the splattering. You don't want things burning you around, but also you do not want it to burn. So we'll give it a good mix to make sure that all the ingredients are mixing well, everything is going on great, every tomato particle is being coated by the spices that we've been trying to build up. And then we'll go ahead and add our broth. This is the chicken broth from the chicken we made earlier, and then just let this cook down so that it's ready for us to make our jollof rice. Once again, thank you so much for watching our video to this point. We really appreciate the privilege of your time. Please like, please subscribe, please comment, and please share. We really appreciate it. We'll let this cook down. It took about 20 minutes for the broth to cook down to the level that I wanted it to cook. And this is how it looks. It's at this point, how I know that the tomato stew is ready is it does not splatter. So it's like it's cooking so hot, but then it cannot splatter. So now this is ready. We'll just take out some stew because it's really a lot of stew for the amount of rice we're going to make. And we can also use the stew that we've taken out on the side, for other meals. So we took out some stew and we let it cool down for some time. And then you don't have to let it cool down. I was doing something else, so I just let the stew cool down. So I'll reheat it again and then just go ahead and add our rice. We're going to use basmati rice and then just cook it down, and our meal will be ready at this point. The jollof rice will be ready. So now that it is warmed up, we'll go ahead and add the basmati rice. And again, the trick is give it a good mix because you want your jollof to be red at this point, that bright color. Red may not be the right color depending on, if someone is colorblind or not, but you really want it to have that bright color. So the trick is give it a good mix so that each rice grain gets coated with the stew. So don't be shy to take long, to make the rice crispy if you want, but just give it a good turn for as much as you like till each grain of rice is coated with our stew. So we'll continue doing this, giving it a good turn until I stop seeing, those white grains on top. Now, and I'm not shy about it because I want the rice to be coated, but also at this point, it's also absorbing that flavor. You can also leave the heat on the way I did so that it kind of cooks with the heat, like to absorb the rice before we can actually add in our broth. This is going to be the same broth that we used for the chicken. So again, I'll go in and give it a good turn, like a generous turn. You see the color keeps improving, right? You don't see those white grains so much. So now that we've done this, we'll just go ahead and add some chicken broth and then give it a good mix with our bay leaves and make sure that, once again, all the rice has been coated, it has absorbed the flavors, but it needs to absorb the flavor of the broth that we've added. So as the rice cooks, we'll start making our spicy chicken, like the very, very spicy. So this is oil that I get from the stews. If you notice, sometimes when we cook, we have a lot of oil on the stews. So I scoop that oil. We don't eat it. We'll just use it for another meal, and we also don't throw it away. So we'll make sure that the oil, dissolves since it has been frozen. And then we'll add the onion bell pepper mix at this point. This has been roughly blended with a hand blender. If you've watched this YouTube channel, you'll notice the blender that we use. It's just the one that roughly grinds it. And then we will make sure that it cooks and absorbs, the flavors from the oil, since the oil came from a stew that we made much earlier. So we want it to release all the water but also absorb all the flavors. So we'll just cook it. Now that it has cooked and released all the waters, we'll go ahead and flavor it. We'll add hot pepper. I added a generous amount because I really want it to be on a scale of 10. We will add some bouillon, some chicken bouillon, and also add some paprika flavors, and then give it a good mix and make sure that everything integrates and cooks well. At this point, if you want, if you still have some broth, if you want it to be very hot, you can also add some broth so that it cooks with the water that has been released from the onions and the bell peppers. But if you also want, you can just add the hot pepper so that it maybe jumps the scale of 10. So we'll cook it down till the water reduces. This is what we want at this point, to make sure that the water has reduced, but it should not burn, because you want your onion bell pepper mix to be succulent. You don't want it to be dry, because the process of making the pepper chicken will still dry it. So you just want to keep it moisturized. So give it a good turn until, if you want it drier, then you can go ahead and cook it longer so that, the water just moves out. But I think this is great for us. We like it this way. So we'll just go ahead and start preparing to make our very, very spicy chicken. Once again, thank you so much for watching our video to this point. We appreciate the privilege of your time. So to make the fried chicken, the hot spicy chicken, we'll go ahead and get some chicken pieces from the chicken we made earlier. Remember, the chicken was spicy enough, but we just want to increase the spice level. So we'll go ahead and add some of the bell pepper onion mix that we have just made. Add generous amounts to it, and just make sure that it coats every piece of chicken that we have put here. So that we will do that by just mixing it up, like mix the pieces of chicken with the bell pepper on low heat. You don't want it to burn because there's no water in the pot at this time. Everything that you're working with, only dry ingredients, if I can use that word. So we will just go ahead and give it a good mix, a good turn. And then, yeah, basically, once all the chicken pieces get coated, then that will be our very spicy chicken that we've made, Niger style, the spicy chicken. And then, once it is coated, we just go ahead and serve the rice. I forgot to record a video on when the rice was ready, so I'll just go ahead and serve the rice because I don't have the footage, and then, yeah, we can enjoy our meal. Once again, thank you so much for watching our YouTube videos. We appreciate the privilege of your time. Now, version A of the jollof rice would be the spicy chicken. So this is our jollof rice with the 5 scale spicy chicken. It was great. It was very tasty. I don't like very spicy food, but then I have someone in the home that likes spicy food. So this was the version we made for that person that loved spicy food. So this is version 2 of the spicy chicken. Let us know in the comment section. Will you be trying both types of spicy chicken or not? Thank you for watching.